We are getting a clearer picture today of those ICE deportation raids across Los Angeles. Agents today admitting they arrested 160 undocumented immigrants, most of them with criminal records. But that's not what they said yesterday, telling NBC4 that reports of 100 arrests were grossly exaggerated. As NBC4's John Keddes-Klimak uncovered, it appears to be an issue of semantics.
There was at least 2,000 calls that have backed up our system.
Polo Morales with Cheerless says whatever ICE did this week, calling it a surge or routine patrol, certainly riled up the immigrant community in Los Angeles.
Our attorneys went to the detention center. One of the guards told us that there was at least 100 people that were in there.
That was yesterday. ICE said those numbers were inaccurate, but today admit they did arrest 161 people over the last 5 days, the majority with felony convictions.
Now, if you claim to focus on a certain segment of the undocumented community, but you're also picking up anybody who happens to be there along the way, that's not the similar type of policing and enforcement that we saw with the previous administration.
That's what allegedly happened to this woman's father.
They didn't even have ICE on them titled. That's what's pissing me off.
She says ICE arrived without identification, something the feds say they never do. She also says they arrested her dad even though he wasn't the name on the warrant, something we haven't been able to confirm. Immigration attorney Nelson Carrillo says if it's true, that's a different move than how ICE handled similar cases under former President Obama.
The government must and should have a category of individuals as to whom they prioritize for enforcement, and not go after those low-hanging fruits of individuals that perhaps have just been lawfully living in the United States.
Today, ICE says 150 of those arrested had criminal convictions ranging from drug sales to sexual assault. 5 more had removal orders and re-entered the country illegally. And they admit 5 others did not have any other criminal record.
We must hold people accountable at all times, whether it be pro-immigrant groups or be the government, to please give us a real picture of what's going on.
As it turned out, Cheerla may have been on the right path, today holding emergency meetings with undocumented immigrants about their rights should immigration agents come knocking.
With Donald Trump being president, I see no hope for us.
In a conference call with reporters late this afternoon, ICE would not comment on any new executive orders, only to say that this latest surge was part of a plan that had been in the works for weeks. Reporting in downtown Los Angeles, I'm John Keddes-Klimak, NBC4 News.
Now, it's important to note while these deportation raids are happening in the first weeks of President Trump's administration, President Obama's administration deported more people than any other in history. Some immigrant rights leaders calling President Obama at times the deporter-in-chief.